let's talk about something that, sounds pretty simple, tracking employee hours. But what if I told you that getting this one thing right, and I mean really right, by moving past old school methods, is one of the smartest moves a business can make today? Technology is literally turning this basic chore into a powerhouse for efficiency and, believe it or not, real insight.
So, I have to ask you straight up, are your timesheets costing you more than just the paper they're printed on? Seriously, think about it. Because all those little hidden costs, all those tiny inaccuracies, they can quietly bleed your business dry, and you might not even know it's happening. Okay, so to really get where we're headed, we've got to take a quick look back at how things used to be. Let's dive into why the old ways of keeping time they just don't work anymore in this day and age. For the longest time, this was it. This was the gold standard. You had that familiar ka-chunk of the punch clock, or you had someone scribbling their hours on a paper sheet. And hey, it kind of worked. But let's be real, those methods belong to a totally different era, and they come with a whole bunch of modern-day headaches. And this slide right here, it just lays it all out so perfectly. On one side, you have the old way, which is just full of problems. I'm talking about costly human errors when you're adding everything up, or the classic buddy punch, right? Where a coworker clocks in for a friend who's running late. All that stuff leads to these awful payroll disputes and just a mountain of paperwork. But the modern way, it's the total opposite. We're talking guaranteed accuracy, real accountability, and just smooth, seamless automation. All right, so if the old way is the problem, what's the fix? Well, this is where technology steps in. And it's not just a small upgrade. It's a complete game changer for how we manage our workforce's time. And we're talking about some seriously cool tools here. You've got biometric scans, like a fingerprint, that make absolutely sure the right person is clocking it. No more buddy punching. Then you have mobile apps, which are perfect for teams out in the field. They can log their hours right from the job site. And it all feeds into these cloud-based dashboards that give managers a real-time, bird's-eye view of everything. These tools make it almost impossible to mess up the data. It's a level of certainty that was just a dream with paper and pencil. And here's the payoff, all laid out. It's a win, 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 win. I mean, your admin team gets a much lighter workload, so they can focus on more important things. Payroll becomes totally fair and accurate, which, guess what, leads to a happier team. Your compliance gets way tighter, so there's less business risk. It's a win for literally everyone involved. But here's where it gets really cool. Because modern systems do so much more than just record hours. They collect data. And all that data, it's like a secret X-ray of your company's health, telling you a fascinating story about how your business actually works. I just love this quote because it's so true. Every single clock in, every hour logged, every overtime shift, it's all a piece of a bigger story about your business. The real trick is learning how to listen to what that story is telling you. So you start with what looks like just a sea of raw numbers. Times, dates, employee IDs. By itself, it doesn't look like much, right? But this is where the magic really begins. And boom, that raw data suddenly turns into something you can actually use. Just look at this example. In a split second, you can see that the sales team is racking up a ton of overtime. Now you can ask the right questions. Are they understaffed? Are they just being inefficient? Or, hey, maybe they're just closing a ton of deals. The point is, you now have a real reason to start a strategic conversation. That's what we call an actionable insight. And believe me, it goes way deeper than that. You can start to spot these trends before they turn into major problems. You can see which shifts are always short-staffed. You can predict your labor costs with incredible accuracy. You stop just reacting to issues and you start proactively managing your entire workforce. Okay, so having all this accurate data is one thing, but actually using it is what really matters. So the next logical step is taking all these insights and using them to directly boost your company's performance, especially with projects. Oh, come on. We've all been there, right? You're in a meeting, you ask a simple question like, hey, how much time have we spent on this task? And you just get crickets. Or even worse, you get a wild guess based on some scribbled notes and a vague memory. It's so frustrating and a huge waste of time. This is the fix. Automated tracking gives you a single source of truth. It's not about who remembers what anymore. It's a crystal clear, up-to-the-minute record of exactly where every single hour of work is going. It takes that whole burden of guesswork right off your team's shoulders. And just look at this ripple effect. It's a beautiful thing. It all starts with tracking time accurately. That lets you instantly spot the bottlenecks in your projects. Once you see those bottlenecks, you can manage your timelines way better. And what happens when you manage your projects better? Bam, you increase your profit margins. It's a straight line from good data to a healthier bottom line. So, what's the big takeaway here? What does this all boil down to? It's that accurate, automated time tracking isn't some fancy luxury anymore. It's a fundamental piece of running a modern, efficient business. A lot of people just think of time tracking as a chore, something you have to do to stay out of legal trouble. And yeah, compliance is important, but if that's all you see, you are totally missing the bigger picture. The real point is this, right here. This is the heart of it all. Choosing to adopt this kind of technology is a strategic move. It's about being smarter, being more proactive, and building a stronger, more profitable business from the inside out. And in the end, this is what it all adds up to. It saves you real money by cutting out errors and waste. It makes your whole operation run more smoothly. It keeps your team happy with fair and transparent pay. And when you put all that together, you're building a solid foundation for real, sustainable growth. And that just leaves us with one final question to think about. In a world where data is everything and efficiency is king, sticking with outdated methods is a choice. So the question is your business built for the future?